Hey everyone, Timothy here, aka FCFan21, bring you take 2 of the draft recap for the Zero Zone Draft League. You may be wondering why take 2, because I did this yesterday and around the 3.5 minute mark my audio just cut out, so gonna keep an eye on that today, and I'm gonna make sure that won't happen again. So, the Zero Zone Draft League is a draft league I got into because of Aryan, who is also a coach in the Burn Tower Draft League. And I think this may be one of my best drafts I had made till today. So, and by the way, the logo from the league is way cooler than I was able to get. I needed with a transparent background, and it took a bit too much transparency, but like I said, the background is way better if you go to their Discord and look it up. So yeah. In the Zero Zone Draft League, I'm gonna use my 7 Deadly Dynasties logo. So the Vinkerveen Vivillons are gonna be a bit on hold. Maybe I'll revert back to them in a new draft, but for now I like the 7 Deadly Dynasties. So I was number 5 of 16 teams, and well and behold, I'm not sure how it got there, but Iron Valiant was still available. Iron Valiant is gonna be named Seto Kaiba because he has dual discs around his arm. I'm baffled this thing made it till pick 5, honestly, because not sure what got taken before it. I know Cyclosaur was taken by my week 1 opponent, who was number 2. It was a mascot pick, so I can appreciate that, but not sure what the 3 before him were. If you give me a minute, I will look that up. But to talk about the Valiant pick, a great offensive threat, because it can be both physical and special with base 130 and base 120 in his attacking stats. With base 116, almost not outspeedable once he got a booster energy speed up. Has a great move pool on either side, so I'm really surprised that it wasn't taken earlier. Just for some background, the first coach took Iron Bundle, something I can respect. Is Bundle better than Valiant? I don't think so, but still. Cyclosaur on the second was the second pick, and it was a mascot pick, so again. Third was Enamoris Incarnate, which was able to be a Terra Captain. And round 4 was Annihilate, which is also a Terra Captain, and Valiant was not available as a Terra Captain. So, not sure if I totally agree with those picks, but I don't mind because I've got the Valiant in my team, so great first offensive pick. And after this I went for a defensive core, as I like to say it, and I started off with Ting Lu, aka Angry Bambi, and I got to know this mon in the Burn Tower Draft League, and it's such a great wall. Base 155 HP stat is just amazing, can take a lot of hits with it. Base 125 defense is also very high, and you might think that base 80 special defense is low. or at least not all that high up. But if you take in account that the Vessel of Ruin makes all special attacks all special attack stats from everyone on the field be reduced by 1/4. Base 80 is basically just great. With the 110 base attack stat, it's not a passive defensive mon, even though it can be. With his typing, he is immune to electric and psychic, which is great. Has hazards, has whirlwind, and can cut HP in half with ruination. Heavy slam as an offensive option against fairy types and against ice types. Body press against other dark types. So this thing has just a lot of options, and I'm really glad I was able to pick it up again. Third pick was also a defensive pick, something I am also aware or familiar with because of the Burnt Tower Draft League, not because I drafted it, but because I played against it and I've seen it getting used in my division, and that is Skeledirge. And Skeledirge is a good defensive mon because of Unaware and the ability to set up on his own with Torch Song. For anyone who is unaware of the ability Unaware, Unaware basically means my opponent can set up against my Skeledirge and he will not take in the stat changes that are on the other mon. So let's say you set up 2 Dragon Dances, you will outspeed, but you're basically at your base physical attack that you started off with, because of Unaware is not taking your attack boosts in account. Besides that, he has Slack Off, so he can always have reliable recovery, can status opponents with both Yawn and Will-O-Wisp to make physical attack opponents a lot less useful. And it has surprise coverage with moves like Earth Power, so yeah, really curious if I can use it as well as History can in the Burnt Tower Draft League. It's not my Terra Captain, so maybe that makes it a little bit less better than Histories, but I think Lyle Crocodile is going to be a great asset to the team. And I had to wait after third pick for 22 picks again because I was 5th. And after those 22 picks, I saw Hisuian Gudra was still on the board, so yeah, I really wanted to use that. I have used Hisuian Sliggoo in the GBA tour that I was in all the way back in June or July, and it really impressed me with how useful it was. So I picked up Gary, and with Gary, aka Hisuian Gudra, I picked up an amazing Pokemon, I feel like. Steel and Dragon is one of the best type combinations in the game, I feel like. Because the Steel typing takes away the Dragon, Ice and Fairy weakness from the Dragon part, and the Dragon takes away the Fire weakness from the Steel part, so you basically have just the 2 weaknesses in Fighting and Ground. You have a Poison immunity because of the Steel typing. With the Sap Sipper ability I will have a Grass immunity, but even if I run Shell Armor or Gooey, Grass type moves will be 4 times resisted, so that's very nice. Base 100 attack and 110 special attack means it is both viable in special and physical moves. And with 1 base 50 special defense, it's just a big special tank that's hard to break down. I feel like this thing, you can throw Earth Powers or Focus Blasts at it, and even with most mons using specs as an item, this thing won't die easily. It has a wide move pool with both physical and special attacks, so yeah, again, very interested in using it, and I hope it can do the same thing for me here as the Hisuian Sliggoo did for me in the GBA tour. So to round up my defensive core, I wanted a bulky water type. I was looking at Manaphy for a while because Manaphy has base 100 stats around the board and could be used very defensively, but I went for something I haven't had used in a draft league, but I feel like it's a great asset to the team, and that is Milotic, aka Sakura. I got the nickname, by the way, from Shady Penguin. I used Milotic quite a few times, and that nickname just really stuck to me, so I went for Sakura. So like I said, it's completing my a strong defensive core, I feel like. With being a pure water type, it only has the 2 weaknesses with electric and grass. Electric is resisted by the Gudra, and Tiglu has an immunity, and the grass typing is with Gudra basically not a worry. So yeah, Skeledirge does take grass type moves very well as well, so yeah. I think my defensive core can really help each other out in the resistance department. He has 3 very useful abilities, with competitive and marvel skill as his regular abilities and Q Charm as his hidden ability. Q Charm can be very annoying if you get your opponent's mon infatuated with you. Competitive raises his special attack stat, which is his main attack stat, when a stat is dropped. And Marvel skill doubles your defenses, I thought, or at least 1.5 times on your defense when you get a status like Burn. So, very bulky. Can be a support mon, can be bulky offense, and it's just very pretty to look at, of course. So yeah, couldn't pass that one up. So after 5 rounds, I had a good defensive core, and I had a very good offensive mon, but I needed some more offense, so I just went with something familiar, and that was Hisuian Electrode, aka Boomball. And I feel like I just keep drafting this mon because of its great speed stat. You basically don't have to run full speed and can invest in some bulk, which makes it that it can live surprising. It can surprise with living some hits. Even though it's base 80 special attack, it can hit surprisingly hard. It has a shallow move pool to work with, but it's workable. Yeah, you know, you're against things like Hisui and Gudra, this thing won't do anything, but still, and a great mon for momentum with Volt switches. So yeah, very happy to draft that Boomball again. So yeah, not much to say about this thing because, like I said, I've drafted it already a couple of times and it's always been very useful to me. So my next pick is Articuno Galar, aka David Blaine, and I drafted this thing mostly because I needed a ground immunity right now. Gudra and Skeledirge are both weak to ground type moves, and I just hadn't got a resist or an immunity. So yeah, Galarian Articuno was the one that I wanted to pick up. He has only the competitive ability, which makes it a good anti-defogger in Draft League, because with Skeledirge I have a spin blocker, and so if you want to spin your my hazards away, I can block you, and if you want to defog your stealth rocks or anything away, and I bring in David Blaine, you are in a bit of trouble, because with base 125 special attack and a 3+2 boost, I only need to set up with a agility and I basically can swap you. So yeah, my opponents will have to think very hard about how they want to get rid of hazards on their side of the field. This mon is able to use the move Trick, which I love using, so that's also very nice. Like I said, it has multiple ways of setting up. It has also Coal Mines, agility. I thought it got Nasty Plot, so enough ways to boost its stats. And a personal preference, I just love the cold way more than I love the heat. And yeah, when I think about Articuno, I always think about the cold, even though this is a Galarian form. So I still wanted to get some things against or to at least counter ground type moves. So next up I got another defensive piece, and that was the Galarian Weezing. And Fancy Asthma here with Levitate also is immune to ground type moves. With base 90 attack and 85 special attack, it's a mixed attacker again, so you never know from which side I will be hitting you. This thing can set up Toxic Spikes, and when I run Neutralizing Gas or Misty Surge, I am able to get rid of Toxic Spikes on my side of the field. If not, I can always use Defog, because that's a move he has. And it has a decent defensive typing. I had a bit of a fairy weakness as well, and because of the poison typing, I got that patched up a bit. Decent dark and fighting resistances. So yeah, only 2 weaknesses, Psychic and Steel, and I was not very worried about those typings so far. So that left me with 3 more picks in this league. And basically, Weezing was my first way of hazard removal. So my next order of business was to draft something that could remove hazards. And I went in the end with Komala, aka Enter Sandman. Komala, as a pure normal typing, has only the 1 weakness in fighting. Has a ghost immunity, which is also nice. Because of his ability Comatose, he can't get statused, so he can't get burned, he can't fall asleep, he can't get poisoned, which is very nice for something that has to remove hazards. And so I basically don't have to rely on a grounded poison type to get rid of Toxic Spikes. Again, Rapid Spin support. It can support his teammates with Wish. Has the ability to status my opponents with Yawn and Toxics. And I have some surprise sets in mind, which I will not reveal, because yeah, that would be a waste if my opponents look at this video and basically already know what I want to do before I do it. So yeah, I think Komala will fit in this team pretty nicely, and yeah, I think I will bring it to a couple of games this season. My 10th pick was a intentional snipe pick. Like I said, the first team in the league, the Excelsior Ex-Cavaliers, who had first pick, already drafted Iron Bundle in round 1. They also picked up Iron Jugulus, Pincurchin and Alolan Raichu at this point. And I saw another future Pokemon that was still on the board, and I thought that thing will probably end up in their hands if I do not pick it. And I liked the bulky offense that it brought, so I went for my Terra Captain this season, and that is Iron Hands, aka Catch These. It's like I said, very bulky offense with 154 in base HP, 108 in defense, and 68 in special defense. I can run either a assault vest set, so it's really hard to take it out. I can use booster energy to boost its attack or defense even further. I think it's a great Terra Captain because we can use any Terra type on the Terra Captain, and it's a Terra preview draft, so once we are in, they know what the Terra Captain of Terra type will be of our Captain. It has multiple ways of setting up, like belly drum, bulk up, swords dance, all kinds of way to boost stats. Whirlwind support, which is always nice, and it has pretty good coverage, so I'm pretty glad I was able to snipe this one up. And lastly, because I got another ground weakness, I wanted to I have one spinner, I have one defogger, I have a bit limited stealth rock and other hazard options, so I went with Dr. Ecula, aka Gligar. I know this mon from using it in the MMC. It's a great defensive mon with decent damage output, even though it's just base 75. In calcs it always does pretty good damage. It has defog, it has roost for recovery, it can set hazards, so it kind of ticked all the boxes of things that I wanted from my last pick. And it has more setup options than I have expected, even though I used it already. So always nice to see some extra options from a mon that you are already familiar with. So, in the end, this is the team for this season in the Zero Zones Draft League. I hope you will be watching. Again, I feel like this is my most threatening team on paper, at least. Looks amazing. I'm really looking forward to using it, and yeah, I hope you will all enjoy the content as well. That's it for me. I can't say up the Vivillons, so I at least hope you enjoyed watching, and yeah, see you all hopefully at week 1, and bye!